it is Carl Brown from GuitarLessons365.com. Have probably the newest, most recent, not very new, it's probably 12 years old at this point, but the most recent AC/DC song I've ever done, and that is Rock and Roll Train. Pretty simple riffs in this one, and I'm going to talk a little bit about how it's actually played on the recording and how they do it versus how they do it live. And then Angus has a very short solo in the middle of it. I'm going to cover that one. I'm not going to do all the outro solo stuff, so if you're here for that, it's not going to be here. If you want the outro solo, A minor pentatonic, you'll be good to go. All right, so but we will be doing the main solo to the song. All right, so we have these two opening chords. Now from this chord, you're going to hit this chord with the downstroke, this D power chord, and then switch it to a G power chord. So it's going to be the third fret on the B and the high E, and then you're going to open G, open D. Mute the A string there with the bottom of your middle finger and play the third fret on the low E. So we have this. So hit that D first with the downstroke and then switch to the G chord and then up, down, up. So and then you hit one more time on the G with the downstroke and then switch it to the D chord with the up, down, up. So that's the key. It's like, so the hit on the beat is actually, you still have that the chord you've been playing, you hit it one more time on the downbeat. And then, so now from this D, you go hit it with a downstroke and then to an A chord, up, down, up, A major chord. So we have this. Now, this is the main riff and also the chorus to the song. This is played slightly differently live than they do on the album. So live, from what the footage I've been able to see, there's only a couple videos of this, is them playing, both of them doing it exactly like that, both Malcolm and Angus. But on the recording, even though they're not doing it live, on the recording you can actually hear this. So we do have that move coming up in the verse, but it's also done in the chorus by one of the guitar parts. So if you listen close, you will hear that. You will hear that in the chorus. So what is going on there? It's an A major chord, and then we go to a D major chord by playing, still keep that A there, the bar there, but play the third fret there on the B and the fourth fret there on the D. And you can still hit the open A string with it. So that is somewhere in there. They don't do it live, but on the original recording, you still hear that. So that along with, so it's basically the same riff after that. So you just do that. And then when we get to the chord transitions, go back to that D power chord for the. So that will be played with. So if you have two guitar players in your band, you can both split that up. If you're the only guy or gal, you will just don't play the main one there. All right, so that's going to be it's the main riff that starts the track, and then we have the verse that comes in like this. Pretty simple stuff. So that is what we just learned for the chorus. Except you go. hit it twice and then kill it, and then do the riff again. Instead of hitting it twice at the end, you just go back to the A. So we have this. So both guitar players live. Actually, I think just Angus plays the verse live. All right. Now we have the pre-chorus, which is two distinct guitar parts. We have Angus's, which is the more prominent part, which looks like this. All right, so that's just going to be the bar across the 7th fret of the D and the G. And then you add now this 9th fret there on the G and keep the 7 on the D. Try this. So just like that, you got to hit the one when you add the 9th fret, hit that chord twice. Then the exact same thing, 2 frets down. And then the exact same thing, just up 1 string. So you move over to the 5th fret on the A and the D. So it is. Now that last one, we went between that 5 and 7 a couple times. A little bit different rhythm on that last one. Repeat. So do it like 4 times, and then at the end, that D power chord. All right, so now Malcolm's part, it looks like this underneath. So, and then just kind of hold that D chord at the end. So it's kind of weird. We start here holding, and how he fingers it too. He plays this, hold the A note here, which is the 2nd fret there on the G. So you play that with the open D as well. And then what you do from there, he plays it like that. He raps, he doesn't do it like that. He wraps his finger around like this. So we have the open D and the 2nd fret on the G together, and then add the 2nd fret there on the D with that A note. So, and keep that same rhythm as we did before. And then he goes to just a G power chord. So it is. And then we go to a D power chord, but before we hold the full thing, we have this open G first, and then you add the 2nd fret there on the G string, and then release it again. So back and forth, so we have this. So that goes with the Angus's. All right, so that pre-chorus there, so it's 2 distinct guitar parts there. Obviously, if you just have one guitar in your band, that's probably going to sound better for you. All right, now we go to, from there, we just go to the same chorus riff again that we started the song with. There's really 2 guitar parts there if you want to. All right, and then back to the same verse, same pre-chorus, same chorus, and then we have the solo. Now, it's a quick little solo. Before I do that, there's chords underneath the solo a little bit different. It's basically he's playing the last 3 chords of the chorus repeated, like. That G to D to A. So that's what's going on underneath the solo. So let me play through the solo for you real quick, and I'll show you how to play it note for note. All right, so that's going to start with just a bend at the 7th fret there on the G string. All right, so it starts. You hear some little pick scrapes to start it. It's kind of overdubbed, and then after that bend there, you're going to play over to the 5th fret there on the G string, and then which is now going to be 7th fret on the D, 5th fret on the G, and then play 5, 7 on the D. Then we go back from 5 on the G and to a bend with a little bit of vibrato on it, the 7th fret on the G. And then what you do is you pick that and release it quick, pull off to 5, over to 7 there on the D. So with this. And now we're going to really end that with the double stops at on the 5th fret of the G and the B together. So with this. All right, now we have kind of a fast lick. Looks like this. So that's going to be hammering 12 to 13 on the D string, over to 12 on the G, to 14 now on the D string, roll over to 14 on the G, back to the 14 there on the D. And then end that lick with the 12th fret on the G. So we have this. And then towards the end of the solo, we had the 13th fret there on the B string, just slightly bent. Resolve it there to the 14th fret there on the G. And then some double stops. You're going to play the 12th fret on the high E with that same 13, doing a slight bend on the B string. You do that 4 times. And then that's a bend and release at the 15th fret there on the B string. Pull off to 13. Over to 14 there on the G. So with this. All right, now as it kind of we keep going there, he does come back up. Has 2 more notes in there later on, kind of not part of the main solo, but it's just that the 13 there on the B, 14 there on the G. All right, so now from there, out of that solo, we kind of have the bridge section there, which is where that part was over there. And I'm not going to be doing any of the kind of random soloing. Remember, like it's pretty much A minor pentatonic, so just. So just kind of mess around. And just have fun in A minor pentatonic at these sections. But once again, we just have that bridge which goes from the. Kind of the second half of the chorus like we did earlier, which was under the solo. So that kind of continues. And then we have the outro chorus there to solo. And it starts normal with a. And then towards it, as it does that a few times, the outro chorus just switches to the last 3 chords repeated. All right, So I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's a fun track to play. It's some pretty simple riffs, and that main solo is pretty short. And like I said, if you want to do the outro solo, just play A minor pentatonic, and you'll be good to go. All right, hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you again soon for GuitarLessons365.com.